So this is another instrument for MXXX. It's called the WaveStepFX. And the idea is basically you play a key and you can change how the wavetable jumps around the sustain of the note. So basically that sounds like this. So that's the basic rendering of that. And so I also included a small pad section so that you can have your choice of pads to complement this WaveStepFX. But ideally, the system is really about designing these cool effects on top of your sustained notes. So we have the basic section which jumps around wavetables, which is here. This first module is you can enable and disable it, obviously. You have a choice of different wavetables to scan through. You have the volume, which is going to come in handy because sometimes when you're using the randomizer feature, things can get kind of loud. And I have it going down to minus 24 dB. Attack and release for the main wave. And all of this entire module pertains to the main wave section. So the pad, again, is just a supplement. And you enable and disable it like this, and you also have a way to lower and increase the volume of the pad as needed. So we'll leave that disengaged. So this main section goes over the wavetables that are included with each of these, and you have up to 16 steps. So you can have it all the way at the end, in the middle, all kinds of crazy designs, and it's scanning through various wavetables. And then, of course, you can change what I call the rate of this. They also call it length. But anyways, it goes like this. So this is the slowest. Or we can go the fastest. And additionally, we have the gate on and off, which is basically just a sort of tremolo synchronized gate. So that in case you wanted to add additional sort of gating effects on top of that to sort of solidify or quantize that, you're able to do that with this. So as an example, that's the basic without the gate. So now you can hear that, and I have a little rate adjuster for the gate as well. Now eventually that's going to get buried in your sound design when you start adding all this other stuff, but it's nice to have as for a basic rhythmic idea generator. Alright, so we have the reverb for basically this entire system, and we have a pan as well. This does not pertain to this pad, and neither does the reverb. So in the next section we have wave warp, which is basically how the wavetable sort of morphs in and out of the various kinds of waves. And you can use this morphing slider I've included here to add that in addition to whatever you're doing here. So as an example, this is without it. And another one. So we can have an effect that's rhythmic like this. And then add an additional rhythmic idea going through the morphing section. The next section is the ring mod transform. And with ring mod transform, you're just adding basically ring modulator in various depths all along the same quantized steps. So as an example. And also the wave warp sound benders can really have a drastic effect on how the sound is utilized. And of course, I included the feature to shift the ring modulation tone. and then I have a rate for that as well. So in our next section we have the wave filter. So as things get too bright, I included a way to sort of shelve the high and the low simultaneously. So if we have a lot of ring modulation stuff going on and it's really high, we have various ways to affect it with a filter. In the next section we have a filter-based quantized input system. So we have the ability to add filters on and off through the entirety of the sustain. And lastly, we have the time travel, which is basically just a play on words for reverb. So if I engage this, we have a quantized reverb with a basic quantization preset. So I added also the ability to switch between different impulse responses of the convolution reverb. We have a little bit of reverse, we have a little bit of slapback, we have all kinds of variety of impulse responses going on here. And so additionally we have a rate section for the reverb. So you can see where an interesting sound starts to emerge as we're blending this filter with the reverb time traveling system. And lastly, we have the custom IR. This needs to be engaged, and then you choose custom, and what that's going to do is create a way to add custom steps of reverb in and out of your sound, like all the other sections. And the final parameter is a way to adjust the rate of the custom IR stepping system. One more thing I'll add is that you have the ability to automate all of these quantization steps in this little step sequencer system. Therefore, you can have a changing step sequencer for all of your effects as your pieces progress. So I'll share a few examples of presets.